I think you mentioned the thing about Caleb Williams, and that the offensive line preventing the development is such a huge part of this. I've railed on this. I don't get why they've tried there with polls, but once you get Caleb an offensive line, where is your confidence level about his ability to then tap into that great talent? I mean, in that, I guess, have you seen it enough a little bit in that way, even in
Yeah.
the moments that go, yeah, it's there, just get this.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with Caleb. He has regressed over the last couple of weeks, and it's been tough to see as a Bears fan. That is particularly hurtful to my heart, but it's there. Like he looks like he is not playing like himself. And again, we've seen this with lots of quarterbacks. You could say Geno, you could say Sam Darnold, you could say Bryce Young. You could say Baker early in his career. There are as many examples of quarterbacks not meshing with situations. And Caleb was clearly not meshing with Waldron. We've seen it though, that he has been able to do it under Waldron a little bit, under Thomas Brown, since Thomas Brown's been, elevated to head coach. Like there are those moments, there are drives, there are throws. It's all there. And statistically, it's not that bad. It's overblown because he's a number 1 overall pick. It's always going to be a huge microscope. But if you look at him historically for like rookie seasons, he's fine. He's not the problem. People say he holds the ball too long. Yes, in certain situations, he absolutely does. He's also been hit at a historic rate. So he never knows when he's going to get hit and when he doesn't. People are like, oh, even when he gets protection. He didn't know he was getting protection because he didn't the last time. And statistically, he's not going to get it the next time. So he's not aware when he takes the snap. Oh, this is the one I'm getting protection on. Like that's what everybody looks at on film. They go, oh, he had a good pocket on this one. Why didn't he do the great thing? Because he got hit on the play before and the play after. Like that's just a human piece of playing quarterback. But in terms of his ability on the field, once somebody comes in and says, hey, I'm going to get you back to playing in a comfortable way because you're a talented guy. Yeah, I'm good. Would I like it to look better? Sure, I would like it to look better. Am I worried that he's not the guy? I'm not.
Fans don't like to hear about the cumulative pounding a quarterback will take and what that does to them mental wise over the scope of not just a game by game, play by season, and that they don't like to hear that answer. But when you get the statistics that back this up with pressure and quarterback hit rates, we've been told, haven't we, EJ, time and time again, that this happens to any quarterback. I don't care if it's one of these superhero star types that people want to glom onto. They all, to a degree, implode. They all see their performance suffer.
Yeah, no, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, 2 of the greatest quarterbacks ever. If you talk to people, it's like, how do you get those guys off their game? Hit them.
Yeah.
Like those 2 guys in particular, hit them. They're not the most mobile. Put them down. Like bang them around because they're not used to it and they'll get edgy. They'll get angsty. They'll get angry. And sometimes that worked against you, but oftentimes, as you said, their performance degraded when they took a pounding. It wasn't necessarily pressures, but when they got physical hits stacking up on them, which they didn't a lot of the time. Both of their general managers at the point, you talked about Dante Scarnecchia being a great line coach for the Patriots. Like, now, they didn't necessarily always invest highly, but those lines played together and Tom didn't get hit because if Tom got hit, people heard about it and you didn't play. So, but the teams that were successful against even the greatest quarterbacks in history, they hit them, right? Because nobody likes being hit. Like if I walked into your podcast studio and punched you in the mouth, you'd get angsty, right? You'd probably not be as focused. Like it's very human nature stuff.
Yeah. And it's also in Waldron's offense, there's a bit of a predilection towards leaning on holding the ball for some of the longer developing routes he'd have in there. It's not as much like we've gotten with Grubb at times this year where the ball will get out of Geno's. You see a difference between Waldron and Grubb on that respect, where Geno's actually at times getting that ball out of his hands quick on really quick design stuff, where Waldron seemed like there's more of that. Give it a minute, hold it. It's a little Braveheart, hold it, hold it.
No, watching Geno has been a bit of a mirrored experience with, I would say, better results. If you look at statistically what he's been able to accomplish, better results than Caleb, but he's been doing it, like you said, with very little offensive line protection, but he's a 12-year vet. He's not a rookie. And he's been doing yeoman's work for all the Seahawks fans out there that are like, Geno sucks. Like, no, he really doesn't. He's doing tremendous work with what he has. Yes, his thing is not holding the ball too long. It's cutting down on interceptions, especially in the red zone. Those have been the killers for him, and that's his particular weight to bear. But he's been doing tremendous work. But the situation a lot of times in terms of dropping back and having pressure in your face directly from the inside has been very, very similar. Like it's me and the Leonardo DiCaprio gif with beer in my hand, pointing at the TV, going, "I've seen this one. I've seen this one."
Or the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah. Those 2 pointing at each other, like neither one of us have an offensive line, dude. Like, how are you doing?